So we're the service partner on top of the solution stack. So to say that nicely is we do consulting, we do engineering, and we have fusion center capabilities. So we do traditionally what is called a SOC, except we are more proactive on that. So we do advanced threat hunting, tier 3 services on top of that level. So either we can bring your data into our SOC, or we can do a SOC as a service, or fusion center as a service, as it's called. So the business model kind of centers around the idea that cybersecurity is a people challenge. It's not a technology challenge. And so we then say, we put together the right type of services, we connect the right kind of abilities that people will have, and then we can, the idea is to consult on it, but it's not really making PowerPoint slides and telling people where to spend money. It's more actually doing it for them and saying, these are the areas where you can improve what you have. So to answer your question, the business model is very much around enhancing and training the people who already have systems. Anybody has thought of security to some degree. It's normally a lot less than they think, but it is there. And so we want to enhance that the right way. So that's important for us. That's why we're technology agnostic. We actually do both. So we are an MSSP. So we have very specific clients, and we'll take them through the entire service stack. So you can talk about direct consulting, assessments, gaps analysis. You know, we do VAPT with them, obviously. We'll do IR with them, but those are internal clients that we have. We don't normally offer IR as a service externally. It's rare. Because we work with critical infrastructure and government, we will obviously offer them those services. But generally speaking, we'll be inside a company before that is exposed. Mostly because of the sensitive nature and because of the technical capabilities, it's very political. When you talk about incident response, something bad has happened, somebody's head has to roll. We want to be very careful about how we manage that. So CISOs face the same problem globally. In the region, it's exacerbated a little bit, but the global issue is they're underfunded, right? And it's got something to do with the fact no matter what you do, if you make greeting cards, you're a farm, or you make the most advanced solutions in the market, if you don't think about security first, what your value chain security is, you're going to have a problem. So normally CISOs are hired after the fact, normally when bad things have happened. You need to fix this. With what budget, and how do I go back into the beginning of a life cycle and change that? And so we understand that problem. And we try to augment their abilities to promote upwards, give visibility over the problem and the solution, and then work together with their teams underneath them to empower them. That's really the point. It's a C-level solution if you think about it. So I'm helping you as a CISO go in and convince people that this is the right thing to do and say, look, you're not alone. There are lots of other companies and government entities out there that are doing it. That's the first issue, so money, funding. The second issue is going to be technical competency. And that tends to be a challenge in the region. More than AI and ML and data science people, good security people just trade places in companies like this. And you can't hold on to them for very long. And that's a challenge as well. So we try to do as much as we can to make sure that they have the right capabilities. So the technical challenge that you have here is competency. So that's very unique in this region in terms of just, there are very good people, but there are very few good people. And a lot of them are brought in from the outside. And so we're trying to get a training group together. We try to work with government and train people. It's okay to go out and get a few, online degrees and maybe do an online course, but it's really important to maybe spend some time going through data science, maybe some time going through, software development, understanding life cycles, get that university degree and build up in towards it. And that seems to be a challenge here. So actually, Axon comes from the world of education directly. So the tragedy is that we had our start in Lebanon and tragic for what's happening in Lebanon right now. But of course, the upside is that we work with all the universities there directly, placing people who wanted to do cybersecurity in internships, working with the local police, working with government, military across the globe. And from there, built our expertise. And those people who wanted to stay with us did. So that's why when we say we're technology agnostic, we cover about 80% of the technologies on the market right now in terms of what we can handle and what we understand. So we are very much coming from university, coming from training, and then building them up. And that's the difference. Actually, COVID has changed that landscape. So initially, we were looking at short-term channel partners that just wanted like a 3-4 month, get your software in, see if you can upsell. Now it's a bit of a different story. Now they're realizing it's here for long-term. They're realizing that organizations, companies, government, critical infrastructure, they have long-term strategies, and we want to make that work. So we're seeing that. So our partners, such as CyberKnife, for example, fantastic in the region, really work with all of the different vendors that are really good and sought after, work together to get what's called a zero trust environment going, even all the way out to the managed service provider, up to your technology vendor.
and implementation. So we see that it's much more long term now, but that's definitely come in the last year and a half.
Just to clarify, so